everybody. What's up? How you doing? What's going on? What's new with you? I'm Jayme Bedingfield. This is Too Many Words, my podcast. I appreciate you tuning in. I have Melissa Flickinger on the show. Melissa was my book manager when I was with Booktrope, and working with her was one of my favorite parts of the last year. So it's a great chat, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. She talks about starting her new business, Melissa Flicks Author Services. So I'll have that for you in a bit. Before I go on a rant about some things that have been rolling around my head, and I want to do a couple of shout outs. Mohammed Amir, Randy Brown, and KS Beth. It's people like you that make it possible to do what I do. Thank you so much for all of your shares and likes, and most importantly, for your reading and listening. I really appreciate it. And thumbs up to you guys, and thank you for your support. I'm still working on my site. I know this is my ongoing spiel, but part of the point of doing this new site is, just having it be super detailed and, a place to go. So it's taken me a while. Work is just super ramped up and crazy right now, so I don't have a lot. I just don't have that much time to actually put towards working on the site. But that being said, I am using Squarespace to do the site, and I'm really, it's amazingly straightforward, and it looks great. And I got the domain right there, and it's a good pick. It's pie. I love it. All right, you ready? Let's get into it. How is everybody doing? Our surroundings are loud. I am feeling heavy. I'm going to get heavy on you. My mind is partially in a dark place right now. My head is wrapped up in the news. It's horrible what's going on out there. And I'm reading all these articles and the comments under them, and I get so upset. But I just can't stop reading them. And it's scary out there, folks. The Brock Turner case, it makes me sick. And how is it that someone gets 2 years for having an ounce of pot on them, but this soulless asshole gets 3 months, and she'll have to deal with this forever. Her life is changed. What he did can't be waved off. It can't be. There is no excuse for it. There is no feeling bad for him. There is, and it's the sentence is just it's just not okay. There needs to be a bigger punishment for people who do these just terrible things. Sexual assault and rape, all of that shit is just, it's not okay. And it needs to be treated like it's not okay. There should be no acceptance in society for such atrocious behavior. And in no realm whatsoever is it okay to blame the victim. And the society that we live in, that it's so fear-based, and I feel it too. I'll be walking in my car in a parking lot at night, and there is a male going to his car, and what is my thought? I hope that he is just going to his car. And that's just it. The events that took place in Orlando is just fucking terrible. This has been, a tough week for a lot of people. A lot of people lost somebody they loved this week. There are people who have to live what they witnessed, what they lived through, and I'm frustrated by some of these articles I'm reading that continue to cover the reaction and the outcome to it, and I don't fucking care he was Muslim. It is not a time to snipe at each other about should-haves and hateful words and line drawing. It's gross, but why not? It's what our country's leaders are doing. This election concerns me. Never has it been so clear, our lack of choice. They bully each other, poke blaming fingers in, one another's directions. And, I'm concerned about the reaction to whoever is elected. People are angry and scared. And I've been, I've been finding it difficult, to tune out the world. And I mean, it's not good to tune out the world, but at some point, you just need to step back from the noise and collect yourself and focus on the good things. Love is real. We all say and think it doesn't have to be this way. We shouldn't have to worry about whether or not we take our family to an opening night of a superhero movie, just in case, or, no one should have to worry about the safety of sending our kids to school and celebrating with friends and family and where we do it and what we wear. But we do. Predators are everywhere. And I've been thinking a lot, about society lately and human behavior, and not just in present day, but throughout history. And people have always been doing horrible things to each other. Is this what being human is? Is there really such thing as freedom? Is that what happens when we are at the top of the food chain? We attack each other. I wish we were better. Oh, yeah, I told you I was going heavy. This is, and there's a lot of beauty in the world, and love and kindness, it matters. And there are good people out there, but it's not everyone. And, yeah, well, I had to get that out. And, just, love who you love, everybody. Empathy goes a long way. Respect goes a long way. It's, every action has a consequence. It's a stone in a pond. There's always a ripple, or 20. All right. This would be a good time. This would be a good time to come together. Now that I have verbally spewed all over you, let's lighten the mood a bit and go to my talk with the queen of badassery herself, Melissa Flickinger. Melissa, welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Oh, I've been looking forward to it. It's funny though, cause I've been trying to stay on top of all these different time zones, and I had you marked because I know you're from Jersey too, so I automatically put you in my head as 3 hours ahead and not 2 hours. So I was looking on the calendar and I was just like, wait a minute, 5:30. I'm talking to Melissa. No, that's not right. And
Right. I know when we first started working together, we had been talking about, both of us being from Jersey and stuff, and I automatically just started writing you down for the same thing. And then you're like, I don't live in New Jersey anymore. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I think it's just, you when you come across somebody else, when you cross paths with somebody else from Jersey, that's just kind of like it's an immediate for me anyway, like an immediate
Right.
like connection, like okay, they know what it's like.
Yep.
How long have you been out of Jersey?
um, this year will be going on 8 years since I've moved out of there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and in the summertime is when I always miss it, and I always wish I could just have a beach house there, just for the summer, and then leave Jersey because I don't care for that area in the winter. It gets too cold.
No, totally. I've been out there almost 11 years now. Yikes.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm with you. Like, every Memorial Day, it's like this bell goes off and it's just like you need to be on the boardwalk. You
Mhm.
need to be getting your first sunburn.
Yep. All my friends are posting on Facebook. They're out on the beach, and they have their beach houses and the big Ocean City, not Ocean City, Wildwood Ferris wheel and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, I just missed that part. I don't miss any other part of Jersey because the rest of it's not that great.
No. No, I'm with you. It's the shore and the food. I miss the food.
Yeah.
You can't get I mean, I love Seattle so much, but I really just want a real piece of pizza.
Yep. Pizza and cheesesteaks.
Yes, yeah, and bagels, at least on my end.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to agree.
They taste
There's
like
just
bread
something
here.
about it. The
It's
elevation and the the air. I don't know.
Oh, yes, no, it totally is something like that. I'm always like, "The yeast," but no, that's not right. I think it's yeah.
Right.
I don't know. You know, the yeasty bagels, I don't taste those anymore, so that's
Yeah.
I know I'm friends from high school and stuff, on Facebook are posting all these pictures, and I'm just like, "Ugh." See, I'm from the northern end, so my go-to beach was Seaside, and
Yeah,
then
we would go to either Cape May or Ocean City down in South Jersey.
yeah,
Wildwood's great for going to the boardwalk, but as far as being on the, laying out on the beach and stuff, Ocean City and Sea Isle, Cape May were the best.
yeah, my husband's from South Jersey, so that's where he went.
Yeah, I'm missing it today. It's
Yeah.
been so hot here. It was 96 degrees here today, and I'm thinking, being in Iowa, it's kind of hard to take the heat, but in New Jersey, at least you can sit on the beach and sweat it out.
Y yeah. I guess I didn't realize that, but it gets really hot in Iowa.
Well, it never used to. It didn't seem like it ever got this hot, but it's been really strange weather lately. It was
Isn't
like
that scary that
really, yeah. It's it's just too hot too fast. It went from 74 degrees one day, and the next day it was up to 93, and I'm like, no, I need a better transition than this.
No, totally. This weekend, it was like 90 degrees and everybody's like in full on summer. And like today, we're in sweatshirts and it's freezing and rain is coming down. And I'm just like, is anybody else concerned?
I know. I wish we had hoodie weather. I like it when it's, warm during the day so you can get a little sunshine, and then in the evenings it cools off enough that you can put a hoodie on and go sit outside and, have a cold beer or something.
No,
But
totally. That's how
sweating
our
at night sucks.
yeah, it does. It really does. We don't really get that hot. Um, and even on like the hot summer days, it usually cools off. And we have our particular house is surrounded by pine trees, like really big ones, so it keeps it
Mm,
really shady.
nice.
And it also keeps it very dark, so things get a little weird around like October. But
Yeah.
so you have officially kicked off your own business.
I have. And I mean, it's kind of strange, to be honest with you. Go from working with so many people through the publisher, and then when it all just disappears and you're kind of like, am I really doing this? Am I really going to follow through with this? And then, you just have to hit that button and just make it go time. And it's weird, and I like it though. I
Yeah,
like being my own boss.
yeah, no, well, I think, I mean, I myself had that moment where it was like the rug was under my feet, but I was still standing and I'm just like, okay, well, I keep going, but I just have to do things a little bit differently.
Yeah. And it's strange. Obviously there's a lot that goes into starting up your own business, but I didn't realize just how much, how many small tasks, like going to the courthouse to register your name, and, applying for your tax ID, and getting your website created, and having so much input on what you want your logo to be like and what you want your web design. I'm like, I don't know, just you do what make it look pretty, and I'll just, sign the papers.
What no, totally, it's crazy, all the little details, and I mean, like, things like logo, like, I'm putting together, like, a more, like, professional site for all my stuff in one place and to highlight the podcast, and, I had an I was doing my logo. I could have spent, like, a month just deciding what size bird I wanted.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I had no clue. And I had someone make mine for me, and I actually Mad Hat Covers made my logo.
oh,
And
nice.
she said, "Well, what do you want the colors to look like? What do you want the font to look like?" I'm like, just throw something together, and I'll let you know if I like it or not." And I mean, luckily they know what they're doing over there pretty good. So it was like the first couple that she sent over, I was like, "That's great. It's colorful, and it's simple, so it wasn't overly complicated, and it fits really nicely on coffee mugs."
It really does. No, it's a great logo. I like it too because it comes across as upbeat, which like working with you is just like always super like it's fun. I had so much fun working with you. So
Yeah.
the upbeat factor that the books bring in with your name, it works.
Yeah, and all the books are like the same. Each book has a color that I've dyed my hair, so it's got a little bit of my personality in it too.
It totally comes across. So with the mugs, are you gonna be like selling them off your site?
um, well, what I originally thought, I ordered the two because I wasn't sure which color I would like, and I thought, well, I'll just see what it looks like. And they were having a really great sale on Ink Garden, so I got them for like $5 each.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so I thought, well, maybe I'll just use them as like swag, or giveaways or something like that. But then I started having this really good idea of giving out like little business gift baskets for people that come and hire me for their as an author assistant and things like that. So
Oh, that's a
um,
great idea.
I think I'm gonna go that route, and if enough people ask me for them, then maybe I will sell them. I don't know. I don't really want to bank too much in it just yet.
Yeah. Well, I know I've been getting reach outs from listeners asking for and I've been promising stickers. So I'm starting there, and I'm gonna have, a merch section on my site once the site is actually running first. But there's so many different places and decisions. It's hard to know like what I just want like a light that says this is the right one.
Yep.
Go here.
Just need like these little arrows just to point up whenever, like
Yeah, no, seriously, if
get this
anybody's
one, buy
listening,
this,
that
do
like that
this,
would
buy
be
this many.
yes. No, like seriously, like on like if something like that's actually if something glowed and like I was like, okay, well it's glowing, then it must be the right choice. um, but
Right. That would be pretty cool.
right? I need that with everything, like grocery store too. I hate making decisions.
Hmm. I know grocery stores are awful.
Oh,
I go in with armed with coupons and a list, and somehow it just like half the stuff on my list doesn't get bought, and then I walk out with $100 other items that I don't need.
yeah.
And then of course you bring the kids with you, and
Oh,
then they have their arms reaching out for all this stuff too. And I'm like, how did I just buy like 20 toys and I didn't buy any bread?
they break you down with it too. Like you can only say no so many times, and they know
Yep.
that. And then finally, you're just tired and you're exhausted, and you just want to get at least something that you can make for dinner. And it's like, fine, just yes. And
Yeah.
then before you know it, you have a cart full of cookies.
Yep. And I mean, the threat of saying, if you're gonna act like this, I'm gonna leave this cart right here. Doesn't work when you don't have any food at home to make. So you're like, if I really leave this cart here, then it's everybody gets screwed in the long run.
No, totally.
And I'm always hungry, so I don't want to leave the food at the store.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny too because I think like most people just get pissed off when they have to go grocery shopping. So like on
Mm,
top of the fact that like grocery stores and like trying to pick out different things and like actually walk away with stuff to like feed everybody. There's
mm.
also like this atmosphere where people are like, "Yeah, screw you. You're standing too close to the bananas." And it's like, "Well, I was looking at my phone for a second because my list is on it." Like,
Right. We have an issue at our store where the ladies who work in the deli counter, they just really seem to hate their job. So you kind of don't really want to ask them for deli meat, but you really need it, and they're just give you this look like they're so pissed off that you even had the balls to ask for a pound of beef. You know, I'm like, why do you work here if you hate it so much?
yeah. You're in summer mode already, right?
Oh yeah, since the end of May, they both were finished with school. So we
Yikes.
did one good week where I had my summer plans all ready with my strict schedule of saying you can't get on the computer until you do this, and it worked out really well for the first week, and then it started falling apart, and then I'm just like, we're 3 weeks in, and I just don't even care. Sure, just do whatever you want. Just let
Totally.
mommy sleep in.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm terrified.
Yeah, and working from home with the kids on summer vacation is just, you never know if you should try to get up super early to avoid the chaos or wait until they go to bed and then try to work. And then, of course, if you do that, then you're so tired by the time they go
Uh-huh.
to bed because they don't have a reason to go to bed super early for school the next day. So they're just wound up, and doesn't get dark until 9 o'clock. So
Uh-huh. And you're exhausted because you've been out in the sun all day and you don't have an
yeah,
endless amount of energy like the kids. I know. I'm concerned and it's like and next next week is their last week of school, but it's kind of my first week of summer
mm,
because between the both of them, there is something significant happening in their class, like field trip or party or event of some kind every day.
yeah,
So it's like, and all the parents are invited and a lot of parents in this neighborhood come to that. So it's like, well, I might as well just start it a week early so the kids actually feel like I'm present. But
right.
it's hard.
I know. We had several things going on with the kids because my daughter goes to a different school than my son. So it was a lot of traveling back and forth and trying to do like the end of the school year things for her and then go to his school and participate in those. And sometimes they had them on the same day. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's like the grand finale of chaos
Yeah,
before summer starts. And then it's more chaos for the next couple months.
totally. And then the fall happens and just punches everybody in the face.
Yep.
And last year, my son was in preschool and my daughter was in elementary school, and it was just like it was crazy, and I felt like I was just spending so much time, kind of like just with pickup and drop off alone. But
Yeah.
this year, they go to the same school, they get on the same bus, which is like picks them up literally 2 houses away from mine. So
Nice.
yeah, it's been quite the life changer. I've been really, for the most part, well, I mean, I have trouble stop working, so really I can just make work lead into everything.
Yeah.
But I'm able to get at least a significant amount of it done while they're at school. So I'm looking at the summer and I'm looking at all this stuff I have lined up, and I'm like, yeah, how do you think you're gonna make this work, Jayme? But I don't know.
I tried setting up a pretty good schedule as far as, um, you know, splitting my day into two separate work, like get about 3 hours in the morning and then have the afternoon to do my errands or spend time with the kids and play outside and then make dinner. And then in the evening, go, do another 3 hours. And it seems like it works out on paper, but in reality, it's like, no, because when I'm trying to do my work, that's when the kids want to interrupt me. And then when I'm not doing the work, they ignore me. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna attempt something similar as well. Well, there's some things I'm just gonna have to do during the day. But then there's like this chunk of time where like they have, they have swimming lessons, and so we're gonna do that. So there's some routine, and then my husband and I are gonna basically tag on and off. So like around 3, he'll be the parent on call.
nice.
So we'll see. We'll see how that works.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Well, we gave this a trial on spring break, and by Friday I was just totally exhausted because my days were really long. We will see. But so are I saw that you joined Feminine Collective.
Yeah, I've submitted a few articles. I'm not writing as much as I should be at this moment with, trying to make sure that everything's legit on the business end of things. And then I have this list of places that I should be writing to and submitting to regularly, but it's just not crossing them off my list yet. But I do like writing for them. It's a great community of people. Just writing about life and everything that goes in it. And there's a lot of passion and a lot of the things that are being written and shared. And it's just really great site. I really enjoy it.
Yeah,
I've
no.
noticed that you've written a few things for them too.
Yes, yes. I've 2 that have been published and then a third that will be published soon. I love that community, and just I get inspired by everybody who stands out and talks about all these different things because it's just so important for people, who it's important to share experiences even though it's tough. So it's cool.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of tough subjects on there, but like you said, everybody kind of bands together, and it's nice to know that somebody writes something that they're not sure that somebody else is going through it, and then they end up with so many comments and so much support from others who have gone through it, or have known somebody going through something like with mental illness, or sexual abuse, and things like that. So it's really nice to have that community reaching out to everybody.
Definitely. Well, and I've been the more and more for them, and then other publications in my blog as well. I've been trying to put real thoughts and real things down on paper to just kind of help me work through some stuff, and then in the end result, I find that it helps me be more creative. But this one that will be posted on Feminine Collective, it was a whopper to it was a whopper to write. So I'm a little nervous, but also excited for it to be published.
Yeah, that's my issue as far as writing. It's like, I have all the ideas in my head, but putting it down on paper, and typing out, and then, thinking that, okay, this is going to be published and other people are going to read it. It kind of makes you nervous.
Yeah,
But once you get it out there, once you write it all out, and then you actually submit it, it's kind of freeing.
definitely.
It's like awesome.
Hmm. Well, and then as far as like when you said before, should be writing. One thing that like I feel like needs to be said more often, and it's something that I try to say to myself: so much writing gets done not writing.
Right.
Thinking and experiencing, accounts for so much of it. And then in reality, there's just a certain chunk of time down, and you put the words down, and then you leave the words, and then you edit the words. But and I like today I was I was starting to write this week's Elliot, and I just wasn't feeling it. And I was like, okay, just walk away, close the document even. And then I was futzing around, and I was just like, okay, got an idea.
Right. I have a lot of ideas when I'm doing the dishes, or like cleaning the house, where
Yes.
doing something where I just can't get to the computer and get the ideas down. And I can run the whole entire story. Like, I have the whole novel from beginning to end, and all these great parts, and things like that. And it's like, by the time I get to the computer, they're gone. I finished the thought, it's done. I have no interest in writing it anymore.
Yeah.
So I just need to start carrying around a notepad and paper.
Oh yeah, definitely. I recommend that. I'm gonna try to do that more this summer. But well, Ruby was just a nagging idea in my head for like 3 years before I actually put that together.
Yeah, she's a softie.
Yeah. She really is. She really is. I don't know. But so do you actually make it back to Jersey often, or?
Um, no, we go just about every other year, at the max. Sometimes it takes us a couple years to get back, because we drive straight through, and it's 18
Oh
hours
wow.
from our house to Millville, which is where I'm from. And but yeah, it's 18 hours straight through, and you got to wait a couple years so you can forget how much you hate that drive. Because once you get there, you end up having to drive to all these places, like Millville is about an hour and a half away from the shore.
Yeah.
So if you want to go spend the day at the shore, then you're back in the van, and it's like you're in New Jersey for a week or two, and then it's like you're not even in a house at all. You're always in the vehicle, driving to visit friends, driving to visit these places, go to the aquarium and things to make it fun for the kids. And it's just, by the
Sounds
end of it, you're
exhausting.
like, oh, now I got to turn around, drive 18 hours straight through again. And driving at night is not something I was built to do. My husband jokes that we lose so much time when I drive, because I don't drive fast, and I just hate driving. So, especially at night, because I can't see, and I start imagining things. So highway
well,
hypnosis
well,
is never a good idea with a van full of kids.
yeah, that's the truth. No, well, I can't stand driving on well, our major freeway is I-5, and it's like 5 lanes, and there's like exits on all sides, and it's just horrible. But no, I don't like driving on highways or freeways or anything of the sort. But I like my way of driving is finding all the back routes,
Mhm.
and I have all these like crazy ways of going different places. And it's funny because anytime my husband drives, I'll be like, "Why are you going this way?" And it's like, "Well, how do you want me to go?" I was like, "Well, you can make those three lefts and then go around the park, and then it'll pop you out."
Yeah, around here, I mean, pretty much every place that we go to around here, as far as the store or the schools, they're all within like 3 to 4 minutes from my house. So,
Oh, that must
you
be
know,
good.
going from driving around, in Iowa where everything's so close and I'm rarely in the vehicle, and then to get on, all these major roads to go to New Jersey with all the Mack trucks and, the 80 miles per hour speeds and people cutting, and just scares the crap out of me.
Yeah,
I'm like, I just want to
totally.
be back in my little cornfield.
So you do live in like a more rural area, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of farms. There's a lot of I mean, farmers around here, they just have so much land. And, when you go, if we drive to the mall or something, I mean, you're just mostly seeing nothing but cornfields and wheat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That sounds relaxing.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's nice when, when you do have to drive places that take a little bit longer. And it's just nice to look at as opposed to just seeing, buildings and more cars and things like that. So it's pretty quiet. The only thing I would complain about is that some areas where the population's like 20 and their speed limit is like 15, and if you're trying to get someplace and you're like, okay, I need to go a little bit faster, but with a population of 20 and they have one cop and the one cop's got nothing else to do but sit there and wait for you to go over that speed limit. So
Oh, man.
yeah, so it takes a while. When you do want to go places, it does take a while to get there.
But no, I mean, that sounds nice. I mean, I right now, so I live about 5 minutes outside of Seattle limits. We're in like the first, tier suburb where there's like, the people from the city with families are kind of just flocking, and
Hmm.
like houses are being torn down, and then like three houses are being built. And back like I don't know, at least 50 years ago, this neighborhood was the city hadn't touched it yet. And now it's like slowly swallowing it, but like some of the roads are not set up to be throughways because they're like cut through curvy and like through houses, and there's no sidewalks because it's like not that kind of road. But
Hmm.
people are just like trucking through it trying to get, to, downtown or work or whatever.
Right.
And it's just crazy. Like I'm like a little yappy dog on the side of the road, like slow down, slow down. I'm like on edge all the time. Last summer, I don't know if you remember, but like because we were just kind of ramping up with Ruby and all that, but my dogs had a puppy litter,
Mm.
and we were kind of playing on the idea with like keeping a lot of them and moving north a bit of us and getting some farmland, but we decided to stay. I got cold feet last
Yeah.
towards the end. I was also like continue like it was just frustrating to like show the house, and we had kids and a litter of puppies, and we kept having like realtors that would, not call first and just like
Oh,
let
that's
themselves in.
frustrating.
And it's like, I have a 110-pound Rottweiler, so I'd really appreciate it if you didn't just walk into my house.
Right.
He's nice, but surprises are surprises.
Yeah, I mean, definitely I always think about wanting to move into a bigger house a little bit, out of the outskirts of the area we live in now. Because it's not a busy town, but we live right across the street from a elementary school. So during the school season, it's, cramped and crowded with cars dropping their kids off and picking them up and buses and stuff. So I'm always thinking, I'd like to just live out, toward the countryside so I don't have to see another car
Yeah,
or a bus. But then it's like the idea of packing everything up and moving someplace and,
it's
just
stressful.
dealing with all that, just it's not appealing to me at all.
No. And I mean, that's basically what was happening because, like, the house was on the market, people were coming to look for it, we were looking for houses. we found a couple that were possibilities. And then it was just like, it just was like coming to a point where it's like, okay, it is, I do not want it this bad.
Right.
And, you know, but then it's like, and then we don't have to move the kids from their school. So what a pain it is packing everything up and moving an entire family. And
Yeah, I have some boxes in our garage that still are packed from moving here in the first place. So I guess that those would be pretty helpful, just to have everything already packed up. But it's like, being here for 8 years, it's like, when are we finally going to unpack stuff? And then we have so much clutter anymore that it's like, no, I wouldn't even want to pack anything up. If I moved someplace, I would want to just leave everything here and then move into a nice empty house.
yeah,
not
and then
have
just
to
kind
move
of buy as you go. That sounds nice. So how's your puppy doing? You got a little boxer a little while ago, and
She's not so little anymore.
yeah,
She's about I think the last time we checked, she's about 55 pounds.
oh wow,
And yeah, she was born in October, so she sprouted up pretty quick.
nice.
And she is a terror.
Is she?
It's hard going from, one dog that was old and, pretty much not wanting to get up and do much of anything to a rambunctious, super, super hyper dog.
It is a bit of a shock.
And she really likes to chew on everything.
Oh my gosh. So when we had Sally, our golden retriever, for a few years, and she was like, first of all, like a trick puppy. She was like the easiest puppy in the world. Totally just like a lazy dog, but she didn't do good being a solo dog. She would do all this like over grooming and wouldn't eat. So we got it, we got Jake, our Rottweiler, and he was the most difficult puppy I had ever experienced. He would wake up at 4:00 in the morning on the dot and just be like, if you weren't awake with him, he would like pull the trim off the walls, and like I have a hole out of my ottoman. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But thankfully, the his son Bilbo, who we kept, took after his mom. It was pretty easy.
Nice.
Yeah, but we got a lot of dog in our house.
Yeah, we can only handle the one here. She's at the point right now. She used to get up in the middle of the night and she would get up all through the night and wake me up, and I'd have to go outside, at 3:30 and 5:00 in the morning in the middle of winter to let her out, and then it's like she would take so long to go to the bathroom, and I really got any sleep. And now she's at the point where, we don't have to take her out in the middle of the night or anything, but she gets up around 6 and she'll just get in my face. And she doesn't do it to anybody else's, but she'll get right in my face and just start breathing on me. And I'm like, That's not what you want to wake up to. A big boxer's droopy lips on your face.
Totally. Well, I often wake up with big paws on mine. I get the boys, both Jake and Bilbo, who are both over 100 pounds right now, and
Wow.
and they both are front paws on my side of the bed by 7:00 every morning with the like look on their face like, now mom, now.
Yep. There's no sleeping in,
No.
between kids and animals. Just forget it.
Oh my God. Well, not once. I don't know. Like I don't know if it was that I wasn't told or that I never put it together, but I did not realize that becoming a parent meant I would like never sleep right again. Like there's like sleeping in on mornings. Like if you do sleep in, it's usually like at a penalty. Like you wake up to starving children or fighting children.
Or they've taken it upon themselves to, attempt to make their own breakfast. I mean, my son right now, he's at the point where, he can go into the freezer and get like waffles or the little mini Eggo pancakes, and he knows how to use the microwave. He would not attempt to use the oven or anything, but the microwave, he's comfortable with it. But he leaves evidence of everything that he's done, and then I get up and I'm like, okay, so we have a trail of syrup, from the counter on the floor to where he's sitting and the plate sitting there. It's like, I'm glad that you're getting things for yourself, but now we got to learn to clean up after yourself. And
Oh, well,
yeah, and about the sleep, I remember when I was in the hospital after I had my daughter, and they gave me what is it, the sleeping pill? I guess it's Ambien or something.
yeah.
And the nurse joked, and she was like, take this and appreciate it, because it will be the last time that you get good sleep for many, many years. And, she kind of chuckled, but I mean, she was being so serious. I haven't slept in, almost 8 years now.
Yeah. No, it's intense. Well, because even if it's not them, it's like it'll be me because of them. Like I'll be like drifting off to sleep, and then like for some reason it's like, okay, now are they breathing? Like,
Yeah.
I need to go in their room now, and I'm wide awake and all worried. It's like, I don't know, the worry that comes with parenting is just weird.
Mm-hmm.
Especially,
and then you have to try to be quiet, and then you end up waking them up anyway. So you're working against yourself.
Totally. Well, my daughter, when she was a baby, was the lightest sleeper, and the slightest noise, and she would just wake up screaming. So like, and at that point, we were in a very, very small apartment. So like, after she would be asleep, I would just walk around in sheer terror. Like I would just like pretty much like I was fine just like sitting in a corner of the room quiet, like, don't turn on the TV. Just let it be quiet.
Yep. Yeah, my son was the same way. He would fall asleep, and I'd go to put him down, and I mean, within seconds he would wake back up. And I know that they tell you, like, don't pick them back up, let them kind of cry themselves back to sleep. And I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
First time moms can't take that. They can't hear the kids crying.
It's so true. But like, I don't know. It's funny though, because like, yeah, I would always like, I'd have some sort of crazy reaction to her cries. And then like, by the time my son rolled around, it's like, yeah, he can look at the mobile.
Yep. That's it. Yeah, exactly. That's how it was. I had my son, and then 18 months later.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Mine are 17 months apart.
Wow. Yeah. I wish somebody would have warned me. Like, space them out just a little bit longer, because man, once you have one kid going through the toddler, the terrible 2s and 3s and
It's a back
4s,
to
that span of like complete craziness, and then having to deal with a younger baby at the same time. It's just like, why am I so insane?
Yeah. Well, and those crazy phases are like, you have the toddler and like the 3.5-year-old that says like, is ready to argue all the time. And then it's like you have the 3.5-year-old, and then you have no, it's crazy, and it's like when I was telling family when I was pregnant with my son and my daughter was 9 months old, a couple of the comments were like, "Oh wow, that's close." And at first I was like, well, that's not it. Congratulations. And then shortly after, I'm like, oh.
Now you realize. Oh, I know. I mean, I had the idea. I thought, I wanted them to be close enough in age so that way, as they're going through school, they have each other to lean on. Because
Totally.
I know with me, my sister, she was a few years younger than me, and there was a time when I was in middle school and high school, and she was just like annoy the crap out of me all the time, because she was so much younger, and she would just want to hang out with me and my friends, but that wasn't cool. So
yeah. No, totally.
So I wanted them to be closer, but now it's like, I've just given them like somebody to argue with, I guess, because that's all they do.
Well, I'm totally with you as far as doing it on purpose, because like my brother was 10 years older than me, so we had 2 totally different childhoods. And yes, it's crazy, but I gotta say, you right now, you're at like the climax of crazy, and then your daughter goes into kindergarten, and then you're like, yeah, okay. Because like my kid this year, I mean, it's parenting. It's never easy, and it's always like there's at least once a day I'm like, would you just be quiet? But they help each other so much out in school, like that close age now. It's like, okay, it's honestly, because like for a while I'd be like, okay, it'll be easier when they're both walking. It's like, what? No, it's not.
Right.
That when they're both in elementary school, it's easier. It's the truth.
Yeah.
Take it to the bank. Well, so can you tell everybody where to find you? So you have a site?
Yep. The website is melissaflix.com, and you can find me on Facebook. It's, just search Melissa Flix Author Services, and on Twitter it's mflix authors. And
Well, Melissa, thank you so much for coming on. It was so great talking to you.
yeah, absolutely, this is fun. Not at all the nerve-wracking thing I had imagined.
Well, cool. That's the idea. Cool stuff. Yeah. Well, awesome. So thanks, Melissa. And guys, hit her up. Give her some love. Bye.
See you later.
All right, people. That wraps it up for this episode. Be sure to reach out to me on Twitter at Too Many Words Pod, at me Bedingfield. Find me on Facebook. Let me know your thoughts. Email me with questions or comments, either about the show, writing, books, book recommendations, that kind of thing. Jayme the Scribbler at outlook.com. And sometimes I choose emails and I read them online. I read them while I record. So, yep. And be sure to check out Elliot Granger and the Clueless Brigade, my weekly contemporary series. You can read new chapters on Jayme the Scribbler on Fridays and listen to the chapter on iTunes and Stitcher on Saturday. And don't forget to drop by iTunes and Stitcher and let me know. Leave a review. Let me know what you think of the show. It helps out. Thanks so much. Until next time.